Hello, everybody. This is Charles Cook, managing partner here at Cook Baxter Immigration, coming to today live from Atlanta to talk about yesterday's decision from Judge Mehta and what it means going forward and what other things that we're doing, because obviously everybody wants their green card. Everybody wants to win the lottery that they won. I'm going to turn my phone off there, make sure I don't get any phone calls while we're here. But yesterday, for those of you who listened, it was a good oral argument. The judge clearly, I don't think he was that happy to having to do it, honestly. Federal judges generally don't like to be bothered with minutia of that the parties should be handling on their own. But as everybody knows, we literally have no contact at the Department of State. While they are the defendant in this case, they are represented by their lawyers at DOJ, and they haven't designated anybody yet for us to talk to. So, we've got to work with the lawyers, and it just takes time to get stuff done. I was delighted to see that early this mid-morning, the Department of State updated their announcement on their website, deleting the wording that was barring individuals in proclamation countries from getting their visas. So there was, I kept telling people, just give us a day till we get this issue from the judge, rather than relocating to a different country on the Schengen visa. That we were, I knew we were going to win this, but I can't promise anything. I understand why people tried to get out. But so many people don't even money. I mean, nobody who wins the lottery is made out of money. If you were made out of money, you'd immigrate through the EB-5 program. So the ability to relocate to a different country for 2 weeks with your family, that's insane. I think the judge realized that that's insane. Plus, the Department of State was clearly, illegally interpreting the rule. I mean, what the judge said, it just clearly was not the case. And when, obviously the government lawyer, he realized that. I mean, that's anybody who's listening to yesterday's argument realized that he was just waiting for the judge to say that they can't do this because they have no legal argument that says they can. I will tell that those others that besides DV 2020 that are watching, the judge's decision is DV 2020 specific, okay? Presumably, I argue it applies to DV 2021, but I'm not taking DV 2021 questions. We'll deal with you in October. But the same logic obviously applies to K1s, to O1s, but Department of State is not observing that. So we're going to have to sue them on K1s. And, I'm part of the same group of lawyers, Jeff Joseph, Greg Siskin, and I. Our three law firms are doing the K1 litigation. We're going to file that, I think, shortly. I'm just waiting for the final draft of stuff to finalize. We're going to do an O1 lawsuit. Everybody decided they want me to do law 1. So yes, we're going to do an O1 lawsuit. When I talk, I'll talk to counsel and I'll say, look, government, you're going to lose this. What are you making us sue for? This is stupid, but this is the administration we live in. They are under orders not to give an inch from the Trump lackeys that run these departments. Don't give an inch. So vote. Now, that's the thing I want to talk about. Two things I want to talk about before I go into more details. Everybody understands that 83,000 people were notified that they were winners of the lottery. But only 55,000 people are going to win the lottery. Now, we'll talk about that in a second. Maximum. That means there's like 30,000 people. 40% aren't going to win. You get that, right? And so just understand that. And that's why the Department of State is looking at the priority numbers of everybody. Somebody with this 80,000 numbers, may be out of luck. That said, that doesn't mean everybody shouldn't be trying to get processed. And we'll talk about that in a second. So we've got the issue of why do they notify that many people, just so you know? Because there's lots of disqualifications. Statistically speaking, they figured out how many they have to notify to get to 55,000. and people mess up their form. They don't dot an I, they don't cross a T. Some consulate says XYZ, a medical exam is not done. There's lots of reasons why people end up being denying and losing their lottery selection, but just understand that that is out there. The other thing you have to understand is that clearly the consulates are slammed right now, at least those that are working hard. Now, I know, remember, I get all your emails. I get all your text messages. I get your WhatsApps. I've got my DMs full. I've got my Facebook messages full. I get them all. All right. So I'm developing a worldwide view of the problem. And yes, I know about the problem in Moscow and London and Jerusalem and Ankara and in the Congo and in Cairo. I know about these. So what are we going to do about that? So right now, the first step, and this is really looking at the judge's decision from August. We knew we would have to deal with these issues one by one as they came up. The judge clearly does not want that. He didn't want to rule in August that he was going to have to extend the lottery. And I think there's a good reason he didn't want to do that. He wanted to see what efforts the Department of State would put into getting as many people as possible adjudicated. Now, my Twitter friend, Britt Simon, he has pointed out to me that on a normal week, the Kentucky Consular Center could process 2,000 to 3,000 lottery cases. And now they're doing 200 or 300. So clearly they're not at capacity. We know that. And clearly something happened at the KCC. I don't know whether they dumped documents, because a lot of people are complaining that they call the KCC and the KCC says, we don't have your documents. And yet you have an email from the KCC saying we have all your documents. Little unclear about that. We'll get into that a little bit and later in our next chat. But they are not, and I think the judge was not pleased yesterday to see that the Department of State was not making good faith efforts to adjudicate cases. He didn't want to hear about the medical exams. He understands they're a problem. Okay. He doesn't understand why state hasn't requested an extension. We just need, for almost everybody, a 1 month extension. Okay. We just need a 1 month extension for everybody who's got the 3 month medical exams. And clearly, CDC did it for K1s. If they don't do it for DVs, then we're going to sue them over that too. That will win on. All right. But state has to request that. He's like, why are you going to do? I assume you're going to do it. And government counsel's like, well, I'll tell my client. You know, that helps us. That lack of effort, that lack of moving forward helps us when we go back to the judge next week and we see there's no prospects and we have a bucket of declarations and evidence that they're not making a good faith effort for him to ultimately rule to extend the DV 2020. Now, I believe that the DV 2020 program should be extended for the same amount of time that state stopped processing it, and that is 135 days. That means they would have an extra 3.5 months, 4.5 months, 135 days? Yeah, 4.5 months till February 12th, 2021 to try to process all 55,000 DVs. Obviously, that impacts 2021, folks, but we can deal with that in a bit. I don't know if the judge is going to do that. I don't know what his parameters are going to be. He might say, no, I'm not going to do it. He could say that. He did it for everything else. Remember, he said Trump was crazy. This stuff is based in nothing, but I have no ability to stop it. Now, that said, there's another lawsuit in California that had oral arguments on Friday on extending and getting rid of the proclamation entirely, and then all these problems disappear overnight. But we still have the end of the year problem. So we're still that's not going to solve our DV 2020 problem. So just know, people bet, we've got to. I'm not an idiot. I know that we have to extend it. I know that is the ultimate solution to get as many people processed as possible. I am fighting. Greg is fighting. Jesse is fighting. Ayla is fighting. Everybody's fighting for that without filing another lawsuit. Another lawsuit is not necessary. People from Ayla, the Ayla team, our team has said it's not necessary. We don't need to keep reiterating that. Stop sending me emails and direct messages that says, how do I join the new lawsuit? I don't know. I'm not filing one. It's not necessary. All right. We're either going to win or die on Judge Mehta's decision on the DB 2020. Now, if you've got lots of extra money floating around and you want to pay somebody else doing a lawsuit, you're welcome to it. I do not think it's necessary. That's my legal judgment based upon 30 years of doing federal court litigation against immigration. Now, the other thing that we have to be aware of is this, and this is a sobering thought. If Donald Trump wins re-election, he is going to extend those bans if the judge allows him to. Understand that. He is going to extend those, which means nobody's getting in that wins the lottery unless you had your visa stamp and your passport before April 23rd and it expired. All right. If you had that, then you can come in now. And we actually had our first plaintiff enter the U.S. yesterday on his reissued DV 2020 lottery. Awesome. Congratulations, young man and family. We're happy for you. We want that same happiness for everybody. So that's why we're going to fight. So to put it in sum, if Trump wins, we're all screwed. It's not just you guys. It's us too. Just understand that. If you've got any relatives in the country that are citizens, I hope you're begging them to vote the correct way. But we're also focused on the next stage. So to get to the stage where we can convince Judge Mehta to extend the date, we're going to need declarations. What is a declaration? A declaration is a signed letter typed out from you. It says, my name is Bob Jones, and I am from this country, and I won the lottery on this day. And here's the steps I took with the KCC. And here's the steps I took with the consulate. And here's what they said to me over and over and over and over and over and over again by phone calls and emails. Here's the steps I took to try to get adjudicated. And to date, I don't have an interview. This is for both plaintiffs and non-plaintiffs. All right. We're going to want those from you emailed to us. And you probably want to email that to Phil Cook, P-Cook, P-K-U-C-K at immigration.net. We're going to want those on Friday. Okay, because on Friday, government has to file a report on Monday. We're going to file a report on Monday too. I mean, he didn't ask us for it, but we're going to file it because he definitely needs to know. But we need your sworn, your signed declaration. It says, I sign this under penalty of perjury, and then you sign it and you attach all your documents to it. You may have heard the judge say yesterday, as I allege some stuff, that counsel claims, because I am not evidence. What I say is not evidence. What I give to the court on your signature, especially plaintiffs, is evidence that he can then rely on. So we're going to want that from you, from as many people as possible. Obviously, we don't have unlimited time. We're not going to include everybody, but we're going to include the best ones. And we want to include a panorama of visas. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before I get to your questions, and it looks like we have 120 questions. Well, I'm going to be done at 1, so I'm going to get as many as I can, and there's probably lots of duplicates there. But yes, I know about Azerbaijan. Okay, the judge is, yesterday was quite clear. They need to do something about that. That they should be going to Georgia. Georgia has a 9-day, not a 14-day. Why are the consulates now saying 14 days in the country before we can help you? I get it. It's too late to do it. I mean, you literally can't get it. Can't get it. If you go today, you're not going to get it. So we know about Cairo. All right. I have personally brought up the Cairo situation and the Azerbaijan situation and the Cuba situation and the Burma situation with government counsel. They know there's an issue here. That, again, these are issues that wouldn't exist but for the 4.5-month delay and the illegal proclamation. All right. So there you have it. I know other countries. I know Venezuelans and Chile, and I got issues in Tokyo and London. I get it all. I get it all. So don't say, Mr. Cook, please do something. I'm doing it. Okay, I'm doing it. Instead of whining or complaining or crying, fight. Get me the evidence that I could fight for you. All right, let's take a look at some of these comments and questions here. I'm going to always start at the top because the top is the best place to start. Please explain new public charge regulations, DB case process at embassies. No, there are no public charge on visa. That's been stopped. No public charge. Lima, hey. Marilu, que gusto en verte. Tengo mi corazón en Arequipa, para que sepas. Okay. Mike, if Biden wins the election, possible Trump could. Yeah. Okay. So I believe that if Biden wins, Trump's still going to extend the regulation. He's going to extend it, but he can extend it for 6 more months. Biden is sworn in on the 20th of January. Within a couple of days, he's going to end that. All right. I don't have any doubt about that. So yes, Mike, I realize it's an issue. Okay. Cancel the UK's process of grant citing. All right. Well, Abitha, you and I have exchanged emails, I believe. You need to document this and get me this. All right. Fikru, if he doesn't extend, he says, well, I do not believe that he will only extend it for plaintiffs. He knows. I mean, he wanted plaintiffs for those people who took the risk of being plaintiffs. He wants to make sure that they have first priority. That is a very normal thing in the U.S. system, even in class action lawsuits. Okay, but he also knows that it's not fair to just have only plaintiffs, and that's why he's ordered everybody to participate. So any decision he makes, I think, will help everybody going forward. My glasses are all caterwauling there. I don't know what happened there. All right, let's see. First of all, defending DV winners, workers, okay. Azerbaijan already talked about. Ankara, okay, I know. By the way, the template replies that you're getting are the same replies they're sending to everybody. Every consulate sending the same exact wording out. This is crazy. How am I going to get that? Look okay? I don't know. Kind of weird. Any ideas about? I have lots of ideas about 9 plaintiffs. I get what they're doing. They're screwing people. That helps us win in front of the judge. I'm sick of it too. Keep doing it and then document it and send me your declaration. Okay. All right. Sudan. Also, I know about Sudan. Now, Sudan was one of the proclamations. They can't refuse the visa. All right. So again, you send a copy of the order. I put it in Twitter. You can get it out there. Sylvia, we're not doing TPS now. Tune in at 4:00. Okay, I know you said they can do their jobs. Yeah, well, Courtney, I would love them to do their jobs too. I understand that there are issues, okay? But the consular officers can work from home. They have the ability to do that. And there's always somebody at the embassy, just FYI. There's always a duty officer. They might be there alone, but they can run the machines that make the visas. This is not, they can do the job. And Judge was like, why do you have to do it in person? The reality is they could do these interviews by Skype or Zoom. They could. And that's going to come up on Monday. Pedro, I have been sending email. Pedro, I don't know. You got to keep putting it in. Why? I don't know why Ankara doesn't answer emails. I don't know every country in the world. I know that Ankara clearly has issues. I don't know why. Why? It's a good. Why is it so difficult? First of all, because federal law says he probably can't. All right, unless he finds massive violations of law, and that's what federal law says. It has to be done by the end of the month, and it's only in cases of serious violations the judge can create an equitable remedy. We are creating that situation. That's why it's so hard. And when we get it, it'll only be the second or third time in history that it's happened. And certainly never for an entire class of people. And it has never happened for an entire class of people. Yet we're fighting for that. We fight the impossible. Okay? Ankara, yeah. Ankara, I get it. It's good to interview. I've been calling him every day. And how are they managing cases? I don't know. The government lawyer doesn't know. I don't have access to the Department of State. I did tell them, look, they're way below capacity. And they're sending out these same emails. You got to do something about this. I'm going to call them again tomorrow. Again, I want to give them a little bit of time. And again, this and yours, ultimately, if they don't schedule you and you've been on, and you can document to me that you've got all these call emails and all these contacts, the judge is going to be really pissed off and is going to extend the deadline for everybody. Okay, so keep documenting. Yes, Samantha, K1s aren't coming, my dear. Mohammed, when did you take the solid problem of immigration? I don't even know what that means, Mohammed. I tell you what I did. I voted against Trump, all right? Sudan, we already talked about. F2A, please stop with the F2As. They lost that lawsuit. I have nothing to do with it. Another case in California, you should email them. Barros, AP was resolved and follow-up appointment scheduled for 14th. Monrovia, yes, Barros, you contacted me about Liberia. Liberia is, as far as I know, they are processing visas. They sent me a list this morning of the countries that are not processing visas. That's Bolivia, La Paz, Tashkent, Freetown. It's not processing visas. They can't do visas, so they're going to have to put you in a different country. Rangoon, Kabul, Havana, and Baghdad. None of those countries can process. At least 3 countries have extra capacity: Bogota, Yerevan, Colombia, Yerevan, Armenia, Stockholm, Sweden. All right. These, again, you need to try to find a 3rd country. That's what they wanted you to do. We've got Sudan. Already answered the Sudan question. Batoon about non-plaintiffs. We already talked about non-plaintiffs. Can Mehta lift the ban since the new visa will be issued? Will be new. Mehta is not. The ban doesn't apply anymore to us. If you're referring to the extension deadline, it's a little unclear what you want to know about, Adama. Well, they're not willing to work hard. That's probably what you want to say. Thank you, Fatima. We had a lot of fun yesterday. 55,000 just got interviewed because he's a plaintiff while me 20. Yeah, well, they're going to take plaintiffs first, regardless of their numbers. That's why when people, when we were out there saying, anybody want to sue? Oh, what's going to happen if we sue? Is it going to hurt my case? Your case is dead anyway. And we were doing it for free. We've done all this for free. We haven't charged a dime. Yeah, some lawyers did, but we didn't. Because, this is something that has to get done. Good people have to stand up in times of difficulty and stand for what's right. I absolutely believe that. KCC processing, well, they were, to my knowledge, if you have evidence, Seaman, that they are right today processing 2021 cases, please send it to me by email. And you can send it to me at my email, right here. You can email me right here evidence of that. I have no evidence of that. All right. Let's see. We've got lottery treated in schedule. Yes. I mean, again, I'll work on that. Non-plaintiffs, we talked about that. Swaggy. That is a great name. Swaggy Wares. Very nice. Ardit, what are you? Where are you, Ardit? Are you in Albania? Let me know where you are by email if they're not scheduling anybody. All right. We have a guy in Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica, and let me put it up here. Costa Rica had 68 people win the lottery, and they're not processing anybody. Clearly, that's why I brought it up to the judge. They should be working on this stuff. Why aren't they? If you're in Costa Rica, let me know. All right. Any idea non-plaintiffs? We got all that stuff. Cairo, I agree, not obeying the judge. Lots more Sudan. KC is waiting for embassy's order to transfer files. I hear different stories about that. Lucina, are you going to live in Florida when you come? That would be cool because your last name would be Florida. That's why I said, I've told you from the beginning, contact the consulate, contact the KCC. Do both. Do both. All right. Non-plaintiffs, Batu, we already talked about. We're going to travel with the U.S. No, I mean, you can't travel unless the only people that can travel on their DV 2020 visas are those that had it issued but before April 23rd. You can travel to the U.S. on your visas. Nobody else can, because for you, it doesn't apply. Well, Sudan's not a forbidden country, and the consulate's open. All right. So, Khartoum's open. They should be doing it. Embassy waiting for KCC file. See, that's the thing. KCC wants it. Do they? Yeah, this is what I don't know. That's why you email both of them. All right. Ardit is again. Let's see what we got here. Katrina Mateska. Valid visa we started May. Okay. When you get your visa reissued, Katrina, get on a freaking airplane and get over here. Please. And contact the consulate every single day to get your visa reissued. All right. Batum, you asked that question like 6 times. Don't do that again. Seguro es un truco de Trump y es su adoración. Bueno, lo creo. La economía, todos los abogados tienen mucho trabajo con miles de casos de suspensión. I don't even know what that means, Delpha. Sorry. So we're gonna skip you here. U.S. Embassy. Yeah. Well, what can I say? Morocco embassy's doctor not to be for medical exams. You got to tell the consulate that. Okay. Again, we're not handling every country. We're not handling on the ground work. That's on you. You email the consulate. Say the medical exam. People won't give us a medical. Document it. And get me a declaration. Okay, declarations here will be very, very helpful. I agree. I agree, Martina. We're working on it. Get us the stuff. Beginning, we appreciate efforts. We're winners at Sudan. Again, the Sudanese proclamation doesn't apply to DV folks. All right, so you should be able to get it as of yesterday. Let's see, heard wrong. Judge spoke. It was a complicated case. Well, yeah, that's what he said. It's a complicated case because, Cuba's closed, right? So what are we going to do? I mean, the only solution for Cubans other than getting on a boat and getting to Colombia or Guyana somehow, and illegally, I think, is for the judge to extend the date. I get it. All right. Courtney, I love Courtney. She's going to run my campaign in 2024. Apparently, Hussein is not voting for him. I don't know who you're not voting for, but voting for me would be a terrible idea. Don't vote that crazy man. Oh yeah, there you go. All right. Let's see what we got here. Winter 2020. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. The administrative process. You should be calling the consulate every day about that AP. I can't do anything about the AP. I could sue them, but an individual lawsuit is going to cost. That would cost a lot of money. So you just need to call. You need to be that pain. And, honestly, your win may be us getting the extension. I get that. Riga, Latvia, very low numbers. Yeah, let's see. In Latvia had 63. There's no reason that every Latvian wouldn't get the visa. I don't get it. Again, pound their door down as best you can. That's what you got to do. I've got scheduled today. They say, well, it is true. I mean, obviously it's true. And again, document that, document it. Get me saying it doesn't make it real. Get me the evidence that it's true so we can show the judge. Yeah, we talked about Ruben that already. I just want to be immigrants champion. That's all I'm working for. Ashim, stop asking 2021 questions in 2020. Call me in 2021. Sylvia, again, 2:00 today. Do the AP. We'll do that stuff on TPS. Yeah, Barros, you're going to have to go to a different consulate, okay? If they're not going to handle you. If they're not going to handle you, go to a different consulate. But camp on their door. Go down there. Ask to speak to the consul officer. Email, call. Do everything you can. It's up to you at this point. Ardit, that is not true. I know they're scheduling others because I've got proof of that. That I have proof of. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Can you tell me more about the declarations? You need a signed document. Again, Jovan, your name, where you're from, your country, when you won the lottery, how you've tried to get your interview, all the calls you made, all the emails you sent, documents attached. I signed under penalty of perjury, signed it, email it to me. All right. Georgian Embassy demands 14 days quarantine. Yeah, I know. This makes no sense. And email them back and say that rule's gone. Tell them it's 9 days and see if they'll schedule you. All right. All right. Germany, how many visas? Germany didn't win any. Germany is not I don't think Germany is a DV country. Germany DV country? That'd be crazy. 563 Germans, Big consulate. They could do them all. Info from Moscow, only places from 1.0, 2.0, we processed the 9/3, nobody else. Staff has been running. That may be true. I mean, Moscow got hit hard. They may have sent staff home. Again, that's a way. Document it. Send me the documents. Put it in a declaration that gives us a reason and for the judge to extend the deadline. All right. Screenshots of emails are fine. Printouts are fine. Put them in a DV lottery. Here's my Costa Rica case, all waiting. Well, actually, there's 63 winners of Costa Rica. All right. So keep working on it. In Armenia, let's see how many Armenian winners there are. There are 2,200 Armenian winners. They're not going to do 2,200 cases before the end of the month. Okay? They're just not. Egypt had thousands of winners as well. Egypt had 6,000 winners. They're clearly not going to get all the cases done. Again, why we need the extension. So let's wrap it up here. It's a good question. Well, I mean, Natalia, they may be junk. That's when I started my show. That's when I started this out. These all may be junk at the end of the day. Because if Trump wins, they're junk. They're just an exercise in futility. So, all I can do is have you keep fighting and know that we're going to do our best here to fight as well. This may be my favorite tweet of the day. The reason I wanted to come to the U.S. is I just like the donuts. Here is my email again. If you guys can email me your declarations, or frankly, I'd rather you email this guy. Let me put this up here. I'd rather you email this guy here, your declarations with all your documents. So again, what is a declaration? A declaration is your name, just a Word document, your name, where you're from, your case number, the efforts you've made before COVID and since this lawsuit to get an appointment, to get interviewed, to get your visa issued, to get your visa reissued. All right. Get as much of that in there and attach in the PDF the documents that support what you say, and email that to P. Cook. All right. And don't write back 2 days later, an hour later. Did you get it? If you sent it, he will get it. All right. Don't kill him. Don't kill me with emails. All right. It's like the KCC. Yes, call them all. Make them crazy, but it also makes them crazy. All right. That again documents our ability to do this. But we're sure appreciative of everything that you guys do to try to take advantage of this opportunity. And if it was me, I would do everything possible. I would camp out on their doorstep. I would go down to the embassy and say, "Can I speak to the ambassador?" I would email every employee I could get a name from. I would do everything I possibly could. I would become the biggest pain in the butt I could be to get them to process my case. Now, some would say that's contrary to what you should be doing. Okay. I don't think so. I'm going to try to do it. All right. One letter, Rabinda said, in Nepal, it's not responding to emails, document it. Get me copies of your emails. And the judge is going to go nuts when the judge sees government's going to go, "Well, Judge, we processed 2,000 people for their DVs." And okay, there's about 1,000 plaintiffs. All right. Well, but they're not. They're going to come in and say they've got 500 done in a week. And normally, in a normal time, they're doing thousands a week, especially this time of year. September's when they're always busy with these. And then we put on top of that this evidence. I think the judge is going to just say, "You know what? This is over. We're extending the date." All right. All right. You guys have a great week. You can follow me on Twitter at C Cook. I put up the latest news there as frequently as I can on Twitter. You can give a like here on Facebook, like the firm page, like my firm page, like my professional page, and follow us on Twitter. And we will keep fighting for you until the next couple of days. We get any more word on our Facebook Live, but for now, probably do something on Friday. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.